Welcome to our weekly 3-minute therapy podcast. I'm Dr. Michael Edelstein, clinical psychologist and author. My co-host is Nick Berry, who is an expert, as I am, on the core of what we always discuss, and that's REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. It's a type of therapy devised by Albert Ellis in the 1950s, and Albert Ellis was a genius who came up with this innovative approach, and he's written many books, over 80 books about the subject, and one of the particular ones I'd recommend is called How to Make Yourself Happy and Remarkably Less Disturbable. And that's a great book, and it covers everything related to emotional and behavioral disturbance. REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, is an approach that starts with the idea that our emotions and behaviors don't come from our situations we find ourselves in, but rather comes from our thinking about those situations. And that's good news, because if it's our thinking about situations that cause our anxiety, depression, guilt, anger, procrastination, and addictions, then we can change our thinking and overcome these problems. The main type of thinking that causes these problems are demands, thinking in terms of musts and shoulds. And the main three demands are a demand on oneself: I must do well and get approval, or else I'm no good. Others must treat me well, or else they're no good. And my life must go well, otherwise my life is horrible. So if you have emotional behavioral disturbance, identify one of those musts and question, challenge, and contradict them. Mick, would you like to add to that?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing rational emotive behavior therapy and confidence. And there are two types of confidence. There's self-confidence, which means being confident in yourself as a person, and we'll discuss why that's a problem, and task confidence, which means being confident or having a belief in your ability to do certain things. So, for example, I have task confidence as a therapist and doing rational emotive behavior therapy, but I don't have much task confidence in things related to finances. Uh, but I don't rate myself as a great person because I'm a good therapist, and I don't rate myself as a horrible person because I'm poor at finances. I just rate my doing, not my being. And there are problems with having self-confidence. And I'll discuss some of those problems. But Mick, did you want to say something?
Well, you mentioned two types of confidence, self-confidence and task confidence, TASK. But isn't it possible to have confidence in other people? You assign somebody to do a task for you, you have confidence that they will do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
And it's also possible to have confidence in the world if I'm rock climbing and I see that this particular face can hold this piton that I'm injecting or inserting into it. I have confidence in the face of the rock or the face of the mountain that I am climbing.
Right. Yes. And I guess you can also have confidence in the world that the world is going to do your bidding and help you, but that's irrational. But you can have confidence in aspects of the world, like those rocks, uh, that may hold you or may not hold you. So those are good things to look at. Yeah, Mick?
How would that be different than the word faith?
Well, faith normally is unfounded on fact, but
But
with confidence, you if you have task confidence, in yourself, others, or situations, then normally you have some data and empirics that are
But
up.
somebody could be saying, I have confidence that you will throw a good pass to the receiver. I have confidence, or I have faith in your ability. They can be used synonymously, I think.
Yeah, I think that I would agree with that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Some of,
okay.
some of the irrational beliefs people have that lead to low confidence are things like, I must prove myself or else I'm worthless. I must never fail. And if I do, I'm no good. I'm a failure. It's awful if I fail. I can't stand failing. I'm a hopeless case if I fail. I'm no good if I fail. And it's the end of my world if I fail. So those are beliefs that lead to low confidence in yourself. And self-confidence has two sides of the coin. If you do well, you're a great person, and if you do poorly, you're no good. And those are irrational. So it's better to focus on task confidence rather than self-confidence. Also, some of the problems with self-confidence, it leads to a fear of taking risks. You tend to be unwilling to do something that you don't have a guarantee will work out. And it tends to lead to self-downing, depression if you fail, and also tends to lead to comparing yourself, not your ability, but yourself to others. So I could say Mick is a better basketball player than me. Uh, that's okay. But Mick is a better person than me. Doesn't make sense. Mick?
Well, I was going to say that you're talking about the drawbacks of confidence, but I think if confidence is healthy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think somebody could be confident. It could be very self-helping for them if they are not demanding that they get something right. That confidence could be, well, I'm familiar with this activity. I have a lot of experience doing it, so I have confidence that it will happen, but I don't need a guarantee that it's going to happen. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's work confidence, job confidence, task confidence. Yeah, Mick?
Oh, I can give a good example of confidence. When Neil Armstrong landed the Eagle on the moon, they had done many test runs in Houston with a similar module. He had done it over 30 times. And they simulated, somehow they were able to simulate the gravity on the moon that I believe is 1/6 of Earth. And he had done it 30 times. So he said when it came time to land the Eagle on the moon, which had never been done in the course of human history, he was the first person to ever do that. But they had practiced it 30 times on Earth. And one time he even had to abort the activity and eject himself from the module because it was not behaving the way it needed to, and he realized it could crash into the ground. So he ejected himself, and like half a second later, it crashed into the ground. But he had done this 30 times, and so he had confidence that and familiarity that it would work out. I think that's a good example of having confidence in your own ability and confidence in the world, and in this case, confidence in the machinery, and actual confidence that, yes, the moon is there.
Yeah, it's not going away. That's a great point. So one way to have confidence in your ability to do something, as you're illustrating, Mick, is practice, practice, practice. So the more you practice, the better you get at it, and the more work confidence or task confidence you're likely to have.
And that's a very good point that you can, REBT and confidence, we can talk about confidence in the practice of REBT. Sometimes people don't have confidence in it. They will not catch their demand, or they will not refute their demand emphatically, and they will conclude, well, this doesn't work, and not have confidence in REBT. But I have complete confidence in REBT because I have done it countless times. I don't know how many times I've practiced it. I mean, every day throughout the day currently, when I'm driving my car and somebody cuts me off, I try to remind myself there's no reason they should not do that. Or if I'm driving and here comes the yellow light, there's no reason I have to get there 30 seconds earlier.
Okay, Mick, you're cutting out, so this might be a good time for both of us.
Having a demand in there, having a strong desire, but not having a demand that things go your way.
Yeah. Mick, our connection is degrading and you're cutting out, so I think this would be a good time to conclude. And so any final words, Mick?
Uh, that I think the one thing that is quite obnoxious in people is when they start claiming that they have 100% a 100% guarantee that things are going to go their way. However, that can be very offsetting. You know, as Joe Namath said in 1969, we will win, I guarantee it. And everybody thought, who is this arrogant fool? Well, they ended up winning. But I guarantee it. Nobody has a guarantee. I think people are aware there is no guarantee. But when people take it to that extreme, you definitely stand out. However, when somebody starts guaranteeing something and they're doing it right and left and bragging about how wonderful they are because they never fail, no, that's not true. And that's just erroneous and obnoxious when somebody does that.
Yeah. And if you have low self-confidence or high self-confidence, one of the ways to deal with that is recognize it's a philosophy, a way of looking at things, and question, challenge, and contradict those ideas that you're a good person, a better person, or a worse person based on how you do.
Yeah, I've just personally found if I'm not demanding a guarantee in something, I can have great confidence in pulling something off. Yeah, I can do this. It's probably going to work out. I don't need a guarantee. Watch, and then I'll do whatever the task is, and it usually comes off. I mean, playing music is a good example. I I will play something that I'm quite familiar with and pull it off and not have any reservations about my ability to pull it off. And also, it can be quite fun to try to play something when you don't have confidence that it's going to work out. And if it does work out, then you have excitement. This is kind of living on the edge and stretching out, as jazz musicians know. You can test yourself and take risks, and it makes the music exciting. I have seen very great jazz trumpeter Arturo Sandoval take stabs at stuff and even get upset when he doesn't pull it off. And he does it and he gets paid for it. And he takes risks. And I don't think he has necessarily the confidence to pull it off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time he's phenomenal, but he'll go for these high notes that he isn't sure he can do, and he'll slam his foot to the floor. He'll visibly get upset in front of the crowd, but he's getting paid so much money he doesn't care.
Okay, thanks, Mick Berry, for your usual very knowledgeable participation. And I'm Dr. Michael Edelstein, clinical psychologist. Thanks, Chris Versini, our tech engineer. And comment below if you have thoughts, questions, if you'd like to suggest a subject or volunteer, and give us a thumbs up and a like if you got something out of this. And subscribe to the 3-Minute Therapy podcast confidently to do what, Mick?
To stay on the rational side of confidence and life.